Happy Thursday, Blackhawk family! Today's 6th grade transition video is going to focus on questions that are frequently asked by new middle schoolers. While we understand that you might have additional questions, Principal Potts, Mr. Sampson, Mr. Gray, and myself, Mrs. Best, are going to do our best to answer some anticipated questions. So, here we go.
So I've got a couple questions here that are usually ones that get asked. First one I have is, what if I can't open my locker? Number one problem every year, number one question, definitely the thing we probably stress out the most. If you can't open it, you will have time to practice. No one gets it exactly right the first time. It might take a couple tries. Your 6th grade teachers will be there to help you. We will instruct you. You will have time to practice during class, usually during Pri class, before school. We will stress that you practice it during your hallway time. And then if we have open house this year and the way that's set up, hopefully you guys usually have your combinations that night so you can practice with mom or dad there. Again, your teachers will be there to help instruct you on how that goes. Okay. Second question, do I have to share a locker? Nope, you do not have to share a locker. There are enough that everybody has his or her own locker. We will stress to you to not share lockers, even if you think you can, or put stuff in a friend's locker. Use your locker. Don't share your combination with anybody else. Keep your stuff secure, and just practice opening and closing your lockers. Next question. How does switching classes work? Do they all switch together? How do they know where to go? How much time is there between classes? Is that really enough time? All right, so the answer to that question is, when class gets over, everyone hears a bell ring, and the teachers dismiss their classes at that bell. Everybody is going to have 4 minutes of passing time to get from one class to the next, which is plenty of time. It is 2.5 minutes is the farthest you'd have to walk from our cafeteria all the way down to Mrs. Leonard's room, which is the farthest away. And it'll still give you 1.5 minutes to go to your locker, switch binders and books if you need to. All the 6th grade core classes, however, are in the same place, like right next door to each other. Math, language arts, social studies, and science. And specials are at the same time, band and choir, art and PE, intervention, tech class. Even though everyone switches classes at the same time, all the grade levels mostly kind of stay in their own kind of hallway. 6th grade for the most part is together in 6th grade hallway, 7th grade is there, 8th grade is usually on their side of the hallway. And so it really is enough time. Again, the first week or two, school where you're figuring out your locker combinations, where the classes are, which teacher it is, getting used to your schedule. We're forgiving on that. There's a little bit of a leniency on, if you're a minute or two late, but you were dealing with that, that's okay. You'll get way better and faster at stuff as time goes on. How much time do we have for lunch? Lunch is 30 minutes. You'll be dismissed from your class. You'll have 30 minutes of lunch, and then you'll be dismissed from the cafeteria back to class. The last question I have here is, what electives can I take if I am in band or not in band? So the electives are, obviously band is an elective. Choir, art, PE, reading intervention, and tech are all going to be our rotational classes. The schedule for those kind of works on availability. In the middle school, we try to get everybody time in each rotation as we go through. It will kind of depend on the way some of the intervention classes work and what the numbers are, and who really wants to be in choir and who wants to be in band. But we try to get everybody at least one rotation into PE, one rotation to art, so you guys can all experience each one of those classes, okay?
Who are my teachers and are they nice? So hopefully you've seen a few videos already where we've kind of introduced ourselves to you in the 6th grade. And yes, we are all nice. How much homework will we get? There's typically two different situations where you'll get homework in the middle school. One of them would be if you did not finish your in-class work that you were supposed to finish for the day, then you would probably have to take it home and finish it up. Or if you're working on a project and there are things that you need to finish up and you don't think that you will be able to finish in class during class time. So those are the two situations where you'll possibly have some homework. Do we get field trips? We typically have two field trips that we have every year for sixth graders. The first one is the Outdoor Discovery Center, where we go there. We learn about the birds of prey, we learn about some of the watershed, and typically have a little bit of fun snowshoeing if we get snow. And then the other one is the dune trip at the end of the school year, where we go to the Saugatuck State Park and we get to hang out there, go for a hike. Now, that's not to say that sometimes we do not mix other things in there, like we did some things with the Saugatuck Art Center this past year. So we usually have two for sure, but there may be other things added in as well sometimes. What is pride? This is a good question. A lot of students do not understand this when they first are coming into the middle school, but pride is like our homeroom where we check in with you. We do planner checks, we do grade conferencing, we do intervention time. So it's a lot of academic support, and it's a lot of support for you just in general, making sure that we're getting things done, we're writing things down in our agenda, and we're on track for what we want to accomplish and what we're looking to do. What are the core classes that everyone has to take? In terms of our core classes, we have math, science, ELA, which is language arts, and then social studies. Those are our four classes that are our core classes.
What is a la carte lunch? A la carte means separately priced menu items that are not part of the hot lunch meal. These cost money and are not part of free lunch. What is ELA? ELA stands for English Language Arts. In these classes, students partake in reading, writing, listening, speaking, and viewing activities. These are what are usually referred to as English classes in middle school and high school. Our lessons are structured so that all students are talking and writing about literature. What school supplies will I need? All sixth graders will need a binder, pencils, pens for all classes, which is one binder for all classes, and then multiple pens and pencils for other classes. But then for each separate core class, students will need a notebook and a folder. So a notebook and a folder dedicated for ELA, a separate notebook and folder for math, and then for social studies, and then also for science. In math, any other materials that are needed or necessary will be provided, including a calculator. When can I go to the library and check out books? One of my favorite questions. The library is available to us Tuesdays through Fridays. Sometimes the library is open between classes during passing time, but for the most part, ELA classes visit the library every other week for students to renew, return, and check out books.
One question that many incoming sixth graders have is how fearful they should be of some of our eighth grade students that might seem a little bit bigger and a little bit older and a little more used to middle school than you. I don't think that this is anything that you need to be concerned about. What I've seen is that many of our eighth grade students enjoy being helpful to students that are new in the middle school, and we ask them to be leaders and to help you be comfortable as you begin your journey here at FMS. If they choose not to be a leader and to help you in a positive way, for the most part, they will probably stay out of your way and let you enjoy being on your end of the building while they are mostly down in the eighth grade wing. When it comes to phones and technology and what sixth graders are allowed to use here at school, we ask that sixth grade students do not use phones or personal devices during the school day. They are allowed in the hallways before and after school, And as you get older, you may be able to use them at different times, such as lunchtime, but they are not something that you will use on a regular basis during the school day. We ask that you keep them locked up in your locker, and if not, then we follow our cell phone policy, which we will go through with you when you start school here. As sixth graders are usually scheduled to have a lunch later in the day, one question that many ask is if they're allowed to have snacks at school, because in the past, sixth graders have had the latest lunch here at Fennville Middle School. Sixth grade teachers in the past and are planning on next year allowing students one time during the morning where each student can give themselves a healthy snack in order to help them make it through the morning and get to lunchtime. That doesn't mean bring a whole bag of Takis to eat and share with your friends, but if you bring something small and healthy for you to eat during the morning, there will be a time where sixth grade teachers let you enjoy that and keep from getting hungry during the school day.